Hey, you guys. Um, Today starts a series of daily messages. They're intended to be small, bite-sized, easily digestible um, downloads or bits of information, if you will, from the infinite mind through me to you so that we can truly use our God-given power to create our apparent reality. And the key to doing that, the key to beauty, health, and happiness, which is what we're all really wanting deep down, the key to that is our human imagination. Okay, so this is something that we used as children just all the time organically. It was free flowing, lots of fun to do. But somewhere along the way, it became like too childish and insignificant and in the way, like a distraction, as well meaning parents and teachers and things of that nature really wanted us to learn the rules and ways of the world. Well, bless their hearts, they got it wrong and that fucked with us and it shut down our creative imagination, our ability to creatively control our life experience, which includes our health, which includes our relationships, which includes, our work, our business, our money, our careers, um, our bodies. In fact, everything that we experience in our physical apparent reality. And I'm using the word apparent very deliberately because the ultimate reality is a whole other topic, and I'll save that for another daily message and shine some light on that truth for you. But for now, we're talking apparent reality, that which we can measure in some way and experience with our five senses, right? And so everything that we experience in our apparent reality originates, whether we're aware of it or not, in our imagination. And I'm kind of pointing here, right? Because it's like the mind's eye, or we tend to think of our imagination somewhere in our head and like in our brain. It's actually, again, it's actually the brain and the body are actually in the mind, not the body, not the mind and the body. But that's, again, a whole other conversation that we're not going to dig into today. But it's a fun topic to explore. So maybe I'll save that one for another day. Anyway, the key to happiness, the key to lasting happiness, because we all have moments of happiness, and it's usually that happiness is dependent on something amazing happening in our physical world, right? We achieve some milestone in our career or some personal love affair that just lights us up and makes us happy, or there's that body, that figure that you so have worked your ass off in the gym to get and denied yourself all the cookies in order to get. And so that gives us happiness. However, what happens when the lover leaves, the business shutters, fails, uh, and we eat the fucking cookies, right? Like we're all like, no, don't take it away, don't take it away, don't take my happiness away from me. We're as much as we love experiencing those moments of happiness, we are equally, if not more, afraid of having it taken away or it going away, of loss. So we live in this sort of, I don't know, this back and forth, this push and pull experience of happiness and fear or doubt or worry. And which is normal, by the way. Of course we do. We're fucking human. That's how it is in humanity, right? Like it's this whole dichotomy of opposites, right? That contrast. Without the dark, we wouldn't know we were in the light, right? And so that's fine. Totally fine. My intention in sharing with you this particular message is to let you know the key to your lasting happiness, or happiness as a sort of a default setting, um, is your imagination. And what you imagine will then materialize. And so we do this, we call it manifestation. There's tons of books that have been written about it. The Bible has been written to teach us exactly what I'm saying here. And the thing that we, I don't know, somehow didn't get, weren't taught until we go really exploring who we are and why we're here and what's it all about, until we really dig into that question, we don't actually get that we're always influencing the outcomes of our experiences. We're always influencing our physical experiences in our bodies and in our lives with our imagination. We are just almost always unaware, or another way to say that is not conscious of, not deliberately focusing, not deliberately utilizing that power that we all have. We're unconsciously creating something, our bodies and our lives. Okay. And so when we get conscious, when we get responsible, yesterday's message was radical responsibility. And I went into what you need and what it looks like to have radical responsibility for your happiness. So if you want to check out that video, it's a good one. It's a little bit longer, it's like 26 minutes, but excuse me. But today we're talking about the power of your imagination is the key to your lasting happiness. Happiness as your default setting. In other words, even when the shit hits the fan, even when things appear that seem disruptive, right? Even when things that freak you out or send you into a fear spiral, right? Like before, that would like the highs and lows of that are just like a fucking roller coaster. And I don't know about you, I like going on roller coasters sometimes for fun when I know I can get off. But if my life is a damn roller coaster, no thank you, right? That's just too, for my nervous system, that is just too disruptive and does not sound like fun at all to me. So I like having a set point of happiness to where even when the shit happens, the peaks or the valleys, I guess, in that case, in this metaphor, the valleys aren't so fucking low. In other words, I don't have to knock it back and be drunk at noon when the shit hits the fan. I can enjoy a steady stream of positivity, happiness, joy, connection, abundance, health and vitality, fun and freedom and fulfillment. And when the shit hits the fan, I can be like, oh, yeah, that's not fun. And process my emotions highly effectively, masterfully, one might even say. And through that, restore myself backed up to that set point of happiness, for lack of a better way of saying that. So, how is the imagination involved in that? Well, because it is the sole source of everything in my reality, meaning I am the perceiver of my thoughts and my feelings. And so if I'm imagining my ability to, if I'm imagining myself happy and free and light and loved, well, it's more likely than not that I will experience the happiness, the freedom, the fun, and the love in my physical reality, and my body will feel it. I feel light. I feel love, right? The love vibration, y'all, is a good vibration. And the sense of freedom, right? In contrast to fear, you know what that feels like. That does not feel good. And so when we use our imagination to see visualize, or maybe we imagine hearing someone saying something to me like, Colette, you just look so good, or Colette, you're just like rocking your business, or Colette, you have the most amazing relationship and everybody knows it. Whatever it is that I would desire, that I would intend, if you will, deliberately intend and imagine, I might visualize it, I might hear it. There's all the ways in which we can utilize our imagination, whatever works best for you. Um, but imagining it, sitting down deliberately, getting ourselves into a meditative state, meaning we don't just imagine. It's not, let me say it that differently, it's not as impactful and productive to imagine being happy or having something wonderful happen while we're jacked up in doubt and worry and fear. So we have to, before we employ our imagination, if we want to do this effectively and productively, we got to get ourselves into an alpha or theta state. So meditative state of stillness, stilling the body, using the breath, right? Inhaling slowly, exhaling completely, settling in, softening our focus from the chaos of the mind into that still point within us, and just chilling out there for a minute. By the way, if you did just that, it would be enough, because in stillness is happiness. So, but if you wanted to if you wanted to use your creative control to then experience a materialization of something specific, which I highly encourage that we do, then once we're in that state of peace and bliss and oneness with the infinite, then we start to call forth the visualization, or it could be audible, right? We could hear someone saying something to us and us acknowledging them. Yes, I do make over $100,000 every single month effortlessly and in a meaningful way. Yes. Right. So that could be an affirmation in our imagination that then is deliberate and specific in the, and it will materialize in our apparent reality. Okay. So the key to our happiness, our lasting happiness, and happiness is a set point, our default setting, is to deliberately and consciously use our imagination. Okay, so there's a little tidbit, a little thing to get your brain going in the direction. Hopefully, it's like, well, let me think about that. Let me feel into that. Let me hear more about what this looks like. And so, if I can stimulate your appetite for these metaphysical concepts that are, quite frankly, the underpinning, they are the information that underlies everything that we experience in our physical reality. Well, then good. That's the point of these daily messages, is to stimulate your appetite for a deeper understanding of who you are, what you're capable of, your power. And then from that place, you'll know why you're here. And then you can act. Anything and everything that you do can be in service to that, who you are and why you're here. And when we are in alignment or in integrity with that deepest knowing, life works. And it's a beautiful thing. And happiness is just natural, normal. All right, you guys, any questions that you might have, shoot them my way, and I will be happy to answer them for you. See you tomorrow.